So picture you have a child, you have a baby. And as soon as it's born, biometrics taken, entered into a system. Child's already in the system. First day of school, picture taken. Why? For facial recognition, for the surveillance system, for your child's safety at the school. While your child's at school, they visit the doctor. But don't you worry, you don't even need to know about it. It's right here in the school. We provide healthcare services right here in the school. Very different from the nurse's office of our days. And you have no knowledge of when your child is seen by a doctor, is being evaluated, which they do for the child's growth. To make sure that the child is getting all of their needs met, they will be evaluated on a regular basis, and you feel comforted in that because they are helping your child. And you have no access to these records, by the way, whatsoever. After school programs, because they keep raising taxes and adding taxes, and yeah, they work another job. But don't worry, we're going to take care of your kid after school. In fact, you will have nothing to do with the raising of your child at all. The state will do it all for you. Sound good? Sound creepy? Cradle to career. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, Squirrel Bait here, and welcome to Going Sideways, where I discuss current events that affect our preparedness and our freedoms. This is a story you're going to want to pay attention to. Links to everything will be down below, and you're going to want to look into this yourself. We're going to be talking about cradle to career data systems. What? All right, here we go. We're going to start with an article. This is from edsource.org. In other words, educationsource.org. It is dated June 25th, 2019. I just found out about this. California finally to move ahead with cradle to career data system. Move ahead with cradle to career data system. Is this about our kids? Yep. They might as well just microchip the kids at birth. Don't give them any ideas. This is about statewide, and they're calling this longitudinal data system. So it's a statewide longitudinal data system. Okay. This is a statewide education data system that will follow children from infancy to workplace.
This generation being born now is the loss-free generation.
A marching order for what Newsom is calling a cradle-to-career data system is included in a lengthy bill. Right here. Elaborating on the 2019 to 2020 state budget for education. It lays out steps over the next 18 months that will determine what the system will look like, how it will be governed, and who will have access to data, and how privacy and security will be handled. Oh, well, we know how that'll be done, right? Watch now. As of 2016, California was one of only 8 states that either didn't have or wasn't building a longitudinal data system. Then why haven't we heard about this? Why isn't this in the news? These states are doing this, and how many parents have no clue? No idea. The idea here is to better track student outcomes and increase the alignment of our educational system to the state's workforce needs. Think about that. I'm going to repeat that. Increase the alignment of our educational system to the state's workforce needs. So it doesn't matter what your child's natural abilities are, what their interests are, they will be steered in the direction that benefits the state. That's what it says. Yeah, links down below. Phase 2 would involve integrating workforce data, followed by data from early education and preschool, and then finally health and human services and other data partners such as private colleges and universities.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
It says here, the biggest challenges will be matters of trust, no, you think, and political will, not technology.
This generation being born now is the loss-free generation.
Let's take a look at the bill, shall we? Look at it, yeah? Link down below, can read along. This is Assembly Bill out of California, number 2555. It is dated February 21st, 2014. Amazing. It's like they sit on it until everyone's asleep. All right. So I'm going to read you just pieces of this that stood out to me. Innovative. Innovative. Love that word, because I know how it's been used. And comprehensive approaches to break the cycle of poverty are necessary for creating opportunities for children to succeed and ultimately help turn around poor neighborhoods. Well, first of all, when it comes to innovative, remember pink slime? Remember that in the food industry? That was an innovative solution. Yeah, that's what it was, an innovative solution, pink slime. Remember the Rockefeller Opportunity Zones that we've been talking about? And how they're going to do the same thing. We're going to help the impoverished neighborhoods. We're going to rise people out of poverty with cameras, sensors. But this is what they're selling it as. This is what they're going to tell you. Oh, this is going to do this and this. It'll enslave you too, and we'll just leave that off. Going to transform your neighborhood, your educational system, your family. And you'll see. And it says here, Cradle to Career pipeline of support services in specific neighborhoods that will transform communities. We've seen that before, haven't we? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And it's being sold as this, but it's surveillance and it's control. Many full-service community schools, full-service schools, are currently operating in California, and hundreds of California schools have implemented components of community schools, such as 226 school-based health centers, robust after-school programs, and other community partnerships that support children and families. This equals state-run kids. It's exactly what this is.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Here's a note for you from me about school-based health centers. Okay? One, is that where all the psychological testing is going to be done to see if Johnny's okay? Remember that other thing we talked about? Yeah. To see if your kid's a follower or not, whether or not they're conforming okay. Yeah. Are they thinking the way they should? Yeah. Right. Are they nice and indoctrinated or not? Right. Yeah. The other thing is, here in Michigan, they have this crazy law that parents do not have the right to have access to their kids' medical records because it's important to protect the privacy of the child. So once a kid is, I forget if it's 12 or 14, that kid has privacy. And of course, I argue, how can parents make reasonable decisions for their children if they don't know what's going on? Well, if your kid's being cared for not by the pediatrician, but by the school, and as part of the school records, you have no idea what's going on because you're not even there at all. You're not in the building at all. Like you are when you go to the pediatrician, you have to drive the kid there, right? So you have at least some clue when your kid's been seen, right? Minimally. Well, at the school, you have no idea that the kid was even in the nurse's office, right? So if they're providing school-based health centers, I'm not saying the nurse's office like when we were in school. So they will be providing health care in school, I guess, for your convenience, to help you with unavailable medical records. Added to the educational code to read, the superintendent, in collaboration with, listen, the State Department of Social Services, the Employment Development Department, the California Health and Human Services Agency, the Business Consumer Services and Housing Agency, the Department of Transportation, the California Children and Families Commission, the Chancellor of the California Community Colleges, the Chancellor of the California State University, the President of the University of California, the California Workforce Investment Board, the Department of Parks and Recreation, teacher organizations, Chamber of Commerce, industry representatives, research centers, parent organizations, school administrators, community-based organizations, labor organizations, and other interested parties, whoever that may be, deemed appropriate by the superintendent, shall develop a 5-year plan for expanding Cradle to Career initiatives throughout the state. Wow. All so we can serve the needs of your child better. That's what you're going to be told. This 5-year plan shall include, it's a whole bunch of stuff, but in there it's also developing greater connectivity between state entities. They're going to know everything about you. Everything! You're 6 years old and they're going to know everything about you. Ensuring that children are healthy. That means making sure that they're vaccinated, they're getting with the program, they're not thinking independently, Yeah. Strengthening family structures. What does school have to do with strengthening family structures? Remember, all this after school stuff isn't just because parents are working, it's to keep that child out of your hands. The more that child is with them, the more control they're going to have over that child as an adult, because they control this. They control this. That kid's allegiance is not to their parents, right? They barely know their parents. Establishing safe neighborhoods. What does education have to do with establishing safe neighborhoods? See, yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, you see it now? You see it now. Full service community centers. Full service community centers. Promise neighborhoods. That's what it says. Cradle to grave initiatives in the state also include promise neighborhoods, wraparound programs. Another feel-good piece of legislation that brings mainly more control. There's removal of freedom all throughout this, and parents have no control, no say, all to help you to fix your broken families and neighborhoods that they broke in the first place. I want you to remember this. I want you to seriously remember this.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
This generation being born now is the loss-free generation.
Thank you for watching. And as always, always, question everything. And I mean everything.